Hey everybody. Sorry about that. I wasn't connected with the iPad and the main board here, so I could turn the mic on. I thought I was. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me jump in here and see what's going on. See who's here. Oh, I got 15 people here already. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it very much. Brett, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. Dave Rebel, what's up, buddy? Hey, Dave, I'm drinking some of that Canadian whiskey you brought over yesterday. This stuff is, I think this is a new one. I'm not having the honey spike tonight. I'm having the, whatever this is. I forgot to get the name. It's amazing. Oh, my God. That's my new favorite. Wow, that is good. Thank you so much. Vox Pathfinder, what's up? PRS is making high gain amps. Yeah. Oh yeah, this thing is a beast. This thing is gnarly as hell. It's an amazing amp. And you will hear it shortly. You actually just heard it in a mix. I did that this afternoon. I did a quick, just kind of a quick track so that you guys could hear it in a full mix. And I put stats up there for you guys. I'm going to do that from now on. Just for, informational purposes, so like killing two birds with one stone. You get all your stats and you get to hear it in a mix at the same time. So I will be playing that a few more times tonight for new people joining in and asking questions. I'll just say, hey, take a look at this video. I'll give you all your stats and everything. You get to hear it in a full mix. Hopefully it sounds good. Let me know if it sounds good. It was a pretty quick deal. I ran into some technical difficulties today, so I was behind by 3 hours, so I had to just slam that down and go. So let's see here. Warm chord music, cooking pork chops, and watching Tone Wars. Awesome, man. What's going on, Jay? Good to see you here, man. Really appreciate it. I enjoyed our conversation the other night. What's up, Terry? How you doing? Brett, I love mine. I take the PRS MT15 head, Mojo Tone 212, vent cab with vintage 30s, and Helix LT. It simply kills. I'll tell you, man, this thing's a beast. It really is. I was really surprised at how aggressive it was, especially when you put the precision drive. I have my Helix down here. You can see part of it. And I'm using it for switching and effects. Well, tonight, just effects. But I have the precision drive that I put in front of the amp through the Helix, and man, it woke that thing right up. I'll show you what it sounds like without being pushed, but I'll also show you obviously with. That's the way I prefer it. I push every amp, so it's just what I do. Okay, Dave Rebel, barrel select by 40 Creek. Yeah, that is good stuff, man. Great flavor. How many watts? This is 15, and it actually has half power, so you can go down to 7. So you can go 7 or 15 watts on this, and and you can run 2 cabs. I only have one running tonight, but you can run 2 cabs with it, so that's really cool as well. Let's see here. Yeah, like a bass breaker. Yep. Well, let's see here. Let me just do a couple of riffs for you. I gotta warm up. I'm literally not warmed up or anything. This is all because I'm 3.5 hours behind today because of a snafu I had. I'm literally down here just kind of winging it right now. So if I seem a little discombobulated, I apologize. I want to give a quick shout out to Motor City Guitar in Waterford, Michigan. They allowed me to take this home and do this tonight. If you haven't shopped at that store and you're from this area, you have to go there. You really do. It's definitely the best store around here. I mean, it really is. It's not a big chain store. It's just a really good place to go. They have everything. They have just aisles and aisles and stacks of all kinds of stuff there. And it's very, very rare when you go in there and they don't have what you're looking for. They usually have 10 of what you're looking for. And they have the best prices. Like on this particular amp, someone was asking me how much it was. I apologize, I forgot. But it's less than anywhere else. And not by $1 or $2. It's substantial. It's worth going to the store to get because it's definitely a very good price on it. And they have great staff. In fact, I've had issues before with gear and just different things over the years that I've bought and I've had to come in and have it serviced or looked at or talk to somebody about it at the store. And they're always very quick to help me. They're knowledgeable, they're friendly, they're patient, and they do a great job on giving you that really good kind of neighborhood feel, you know, when you walk in the door. They're ready, willing, and able to help you. And it doesn't seem all stuffy and corporate-y in there. It's just like a neighborhood store. It really is that cool. And that's the Marty, the owner, that's the way he wants to keep it. He wants to keep all that corporate-y type stuff out of the store. He just wants musicians to just feel welcome there, and to enjoy the buying experience there. And if they have issues, there's great people there to help you. So I want to thank especially Matt and Bob today for helping me out with some things. I really appreciate that immensely. And cheers to all you guys. It's hump day, Wednesday night. It's been a great day. And I know half of you are like, shut up and play the freaking amp. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'll shut the mic off and just, I got to, you know, I did do a sound check, but let me see what's going on here. Yeah, it works. Holy crap, that thing sounds great. It even sounds good in the in-ears. I got my Mesa 212 cab over there, and with vintage 30s in it, and it's mic'd with a Sennheiser E609, and that's what I always use when I go live. It's a great mic. It captures a big part of the speaker, so I get a nice sweep of the sweet spot of the speaker there. What did you guys think? How does that sound to you guys? Tube-powered reverb in it. Yes. No, there's no reverb in this. But it is tube-powered. Yes, I'll play the video again for you, Dan, and it'll have all of the specs in it. It's just so you can hear it in the mix and read the specs. They're all there. Weight, size, I got everything but price on there. So, and you can run 2 cabs with it, which I thought was really cool. I probably should have set up 2 cabs today, but that 3-hour snafu I had today kind of stopped me from doing that. So I'm literally here by the skin of my teeth right now. No verbiage. No verbiage. What do you mean, Brett? No verbiage. I'm sorry. Balls to the wall. There we go. EL84s. Do they really do 'em? Matt Fig said, yeah, hey, what's up, Matt? This thing's sick. It's tight as hell. I love it. There's really nothing I don't like about it. Tone-wise, it's great, you know. I wish, okay, so I wish it had, some MIDI switching capability on it. I didn't see that in there. That would have been nice, because then I could switch it with the Helix or whatever, but I mean, it's not a big deal breaker. It does come with a 1-button foot switch, and maybe with the Helix you could switch it with that. I don't know. Maybe you can, but I didn't see MIDI anywhere on it, so I could be wrong. you know, but that's just face value. That's what I saw. Return to Coda. I have it. It's a great amp, but it has an annoying hum. And that hum is not due to ground issues at my house. Yeah, you can hear it right now. That's the hum. Yeah. Yeah, it, you know, I think it's kind of the nature of nasty amps, right? Like if you have a gnarly freaking amp, it's going to hum, right? I mean, I know that 5150s do. You know, everyone I've ever experienced has been pretty noisy, but it's just kind of the nature of the beast, right? I mean, if you're on a huge stage, probably doesn't matter, but I get it when you're at home practicing. That hum can get a little annoying sometimes. And some amps actually have that loud fan on them. And you're like, geez, pretty loud, you know. Let me read some comments. And what I'm going to do after I read some comments, I'm going to go ahead. I got 3 mixes for you guys. I'm going to play it live. And then we're going to go over some of the settings. You guys tell me what you want me to do with it, like setting-wise. And I'll change settings and do all that. And we'll have a conversation about what we're hearing. And I'll show you the clean channel. I dialed in some effects for that to pretty it up a little bit, and we'll talk about that as well. Let's see here. Matt Fig sounds really good. It does, man. It sounds thick as hell. You're right, Ben. By the way, what's going on, Ben? Yeah, it sounds really good. It's very aggressive. Let me do this. I will play it without the overdrive, and then I'll kick the overdrive on. You'll see me kick it on with my foot here. So let me turn it off, and then mute the mic, and I'll play a few riffs for you. So yeah, that's it without the with and without the overdrive. I obviously prefer it with. You know, basically with this, I just took it, set everything at noon, and checked the tone, and I was like, is this a good enough tone to proceed with? Because I've never played one of these before, and I was like, it'd be nice to go live with this on my weekly live interactive demo, which I'm going to be doing every Wednesday night from now on with you guys, just so you know. Every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live with a new product that I'll do an interactive demo with. Typically, I'll start with a couple of tracks before I even start talking to you. But tonight was a little different because of that snafu I had. And I'll either do a demo or I'll do a dial-in. So maybe some nights we'll do like a project where we dial in effects, you know, for something. And if it's on the Helix, I'll actually put the preset up on Helix's tone sharing place where you can get it for free. So we'll do workshops like that too. So it'll either be a live demo or a live dial-in of something, you know. So, and I love doing this because I thought about it and I was like, I can do demos and reviews and film them and edit them and put them up and everything, but you guys don't have a chance to ask me questions in real time, and we can try out the things that you're suggesting in real time and have a conversation about it. There's plenty of recorded, edited, produced demos out there. I'd rather do them live where we can hang out and do that. So please post what you would like me to demo as well, and I'll take a list. I'll make a list of it and do that next time. Next week will probably be a dial-in, but we'll see what happens. I'll announce it on the community page. Let's see here. More gain the higher the noise floor. Yeah, that's pretty much. Derek Samp, what's going on, man? He says he'd buy one. No, they're great. Really are. It sounds amazing so far. PRS versus Vox. That'd be interesting. Return Dakota says it actually has a killer clean channel too. It does. It's really nice. Very pleasant. It's not sharp and pointy. You know, just by itself, it's nice and round. It's got just enough chiminess to it. Some amps have really great, you know, aggressive lead channels, but when you switch to the clean, it's awful. EVH, the earlier ones are known for that, and the 6505 has an awful clean channel. So yeah, I appreciate a good clean channel because I don't want to kill my audience, right? When I go clean, I don't want to, you know, everybody to run for the hills. Hardcore music, that's one thing I love about the Rev. It's pretty quiet for a beast like that. Yeah, your Rev was really quiet until we played through it. That thing was gnarly. Show off that... Oh, hey, what's up, Reed? Show off that clean channel. All right, you know what? I will. And you want me to do some verb and delay. I'll do even better. I have chorus reverb and delay. How's that? Let's switch over to that now. And then I'll mute the mic. Hang on. Yeah, that sounds really good. I keep forgetting to turn the volume pedal up when I start playing. Sorry about that. This is all new patch, all new everything dialed in tonight at the last minute, so there will be some snafus, but it's okay. It's live. That's what this is about. You know? Derek Samp is asking what cab. It's the Mesa 212 with vintage 30s in it. Let's see here. The PRS have a matching cab for this amp. Oh, cab. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they probably do. I didn't really check. All I can say is very impressed with this. I love how it turns blue. The camera, I'm looking at the camera right now, the monitor, and what you're seeing doesn't do it justice. It's super cool. Like when it's dimmer in here, it turns like a really nice, deep, rich blue. And on this channel, and then when you go to the lead channel, it's a really nice, rich red color. It's pretty aggressive, you know. So I like that because when you're across the stage and you know you're switching channels and you look at your amp, you don't want to look for a little dot that tells you what channel you're on. The whole thing lights up and tells you, and it looks nice. So I thought that was a cool, really nice touch. Hey, what's up, Andrew? You made it in. Throw out some chunky riffs, bro. Yeah, I will. I will. Let's get to some. I'll read a few more comments and I'll get to the tracks. How's that? I'll play to some tracks for you guys. Dave Rebell. Oh, he's talking to Vox Pathfinder. Okay. It cleans up well. It does. It really does. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, you guys are answering Derek Samp's question. They have a Tremonti 112 cab with vintage 30s. Yeah, vintage 30s are my speakers. That's the only speaker I'll play through. Those things are awesome. I drink my... You guys ever heard of Zevia? It's sweetened by stevia. It's for guys like me who want to lose weight. All right, so let's get on to some tracks, shall we? Let's do this. A little nervous, like I always am. You guys that know me really well know that I hate playing the tracks live on the channel because it's just the way it is. Let's see, which one is this? Standard. Alright, let me make sure I'm good to go here. Let's get started with some tracks. I'll do them one at a time and chat with you guys in between. Yeah, that sounded good on my ears anyways, on my end. What are you guys listening to this through? If you're listening on your phone, I get it. Sometimes you just got to, but it sounds great when you use earbuds or a Bluetooth earbud set, or speaker, on your computer, like some sort of studio monitors or whatnot. A lot of people watch on TV and use their stereo system. I know Jay is, Mr. Pork Chops. Yeah, so it probably sounds really good on there. I always check the feed afterwards. I always go upstairs and listen to it on my stereo and make sure that everything sounds good, and I just keep the mix the same down here. I try to do that as much as I can because I like consistency. Let's see here. Got 21 people here. Again, appreciate you guys joining me. Let's do another one here. Let's do something kind of crazy. Let's do this one's really nuts. If I remember how to play this. All right, here we go. Okay, yeah, it is a bit noisy. Here's the hum right there. So I will say that. I mean, is the noise worth it? That's up to you, but I will say that I was very impressed with this when I got it out of the box. I mean, I freaking plugged it in, put everything at noon, and let's do that now, and it just sounded killer. So let's do that now. So I'm on the lead channel. Mids at noon, treble, let's back that down, put the gain at noon, bass at noon, and let's hear that. And what I'm going to do is I'll make some changes here. The first knob I'm going to screw around with is the bass knob, so I'll do bass, mid, treble, and then the gain knob, and then after that I'll go back and adjust it the way I like it and keep it there for the rest of the time. So here we go. Yeah, that's great. Even at 9 o'clock on the gain, if you want just a good tight chunky kind of tone, that, I mean, you saw that was the second gain setting that I had. I had it kind of all the way down at like 7 o'clock almost. Then I went up to around 9 o'clock and it went up considerably. It got considerably more, I don't know, gainier. Let me show you the difference again. Hang on. Yeah, I keep it because I do solos and rhythms, so I found a sweet spot on it because it's not a two-channel gain stage. It doesn't have two gain stage channels, anyways, high gain channels. So I do like 1 o'clock. That's my sweet spot between a tight rhythm and some leads, and I found that to be pretty comfortable for me, anyways. We're all different. We'll all like different things, but that's my sweet spot. And I have everything pretty much in the middle, except trebles up about 1 o'clock. I took the bass down a hair. I don't know if it's mic placement, but I'm noticing it's pretty, it's got a good thunderous kind of bass to it. So I nudged the bass down a hair. But all depends on your cab and your taste. And mids are right in the middle. I don't scoop my mids because I actually want to be present in a mix. And I'm not into the scooped mids tone. It's very dated. No offense to people who like that, but it's kind of dated, And if you want your solos to stick out, you got to have mids. And if you want there's a lot of guys, like I also do sound, so There's guys, I can't hear my guitar. I'm like, well, where are your mids at? And they're down around 7, 8 o'clock. And I'm like, that's why. It's a mid-range instrument. You got to have mids. So put your mids back in. I mean, you could get too honky too. Like you could turn them up to, 3 o'clock, and that can get a little weird too sometimes. You just got to find the sweet spot with it. And every amp's different. They all have different frequencies that they push. So you gotta really know the amp. So let's see here. Got a lot of comments here, and again, I really appreciate you guys joining me. Tell me what you want me to do, and if I'm able, I'll do it. I got one more mix for you guys, and then we'll do that. Reed Aldridge, he's asking me if there's a noise gate. Yes, I have one in the Helix, which this is routed through right now for just effects. So again, you're hearing the amp. You're not hearing the Helix. There's no digital anything going on here. It's just routing through it like 4-cable method for effects. And there is a effects or a noise gate in the Helix right now. It's kind of mild, but like I got the volume all the way down on the Helix. There it is up, and there it's down. So that's helping too. Rick, how you doing, Rick? Thanks for joining us. He says all amps have hiss at high gain. That is because of the tubes. Yeah, it's just the way it is. And I don't mind it. I really don't. It doesn't bother me a bit because typically, when you're on stage, I mean, you're not going to hear it anyways. It's a big room. There's a lot of commotion going on. It's not a big deal, Let's see here. Yeah, people are saying, yeah, it sounds good, or it sounds, a little noisy on the clean channel. Yeah, it does a little bit. But does it chug? Oh, it chugs. This thing chugs like a college kid. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Eric says, how do you feel it compares to the EVH EL34? Great question. In the market and leaning towards the 84, but if you have made the decision, you have made the decision tougher for sure. Again, hello, Eric. Thanks for your question. I played the EL34 a couple years ago, and man, that thing was stupid good. It was really good. I loved the red channel, and I loved the clean. I think the clean was green. That was probably one of the best clean channels I've ever heard. It was really good. I hated the blue channel, though. And there's a lot of people that agree with me. Like, if you're a metal guy, you're going to hate the blue channel. It's muddy. It sounds... I'll tell you what. I'll show you what the blue channel sounds like. Hang on one second. Here it is. It sounds muddy. It sounds like you have your tone knob all the way down. It's muddy. It feels terrible. It's loose. I even slammed it with a precision drive, and I pushed it as hard as I could, and I could not get that thing to do what I wanted to do. Now, if you play those kinds of riffs, maybe it would work for you, but for metal, absolutely 100% not. But the red channel is amazing. The green channel is amazing. It barely needed an overdrive. I mean, I would use it for solos and just for security. You know what I mean? Because, especially when you're playing live, you want that little bit of, like, safety net. I would feather in some overdrive on that, too, on the red channel. But, man, that's a killer amp. It really is. Let's see here. Let me make sure I'm keeping up with everybody here. Oh, Reed is answering. Eric, I played both and now own the EL34. Yeah, the EL34 is amazing. I think it's a matter of, probably Reed, if you can chime in on that too, it's probably just a matter of taste, right? Would you say that tonally and quality-wise they're both really good amps? It's just whatever one that works for you, right? Because did you see, between the two, Reed, are you seeing like quality issues, that one's better than the other, or reliability issues? Please post that, because that would be interesting to hear. And you're a touring musician, so I want to hear your thoughts on that. Let's see. Andrew Stonerock, what's going on, man? This one is very rectifier-ish in my opinion. It would pair well with a 5150 type amp, maybe a 6505 mini. Whole lot of Bulldog. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. I'm trying to remember what this kind of reminds me of. It's probably a mix between a 5150 and a Mesa, I guess. You know, it does have that 5150, you know, aggression to it. So it's its own thing, but it does have hints of that. You know, it's pretty tight even without a overdrive. But again, I like the top end and the response that an overdrive gives me on any amp. I also like the percussiveness that it gives me. So Smoke on the Water. I wish I could play that, but I get demonetized. Are either one of those Git Fiddles the new Majesties? Brett asked. No, these are this is the Majesty Monarchy, and so is that. I will be reviewing the new Majesty soon, though. Motor City Guitar is going to help me out with that, and I'm honored to do so because they're my favorite guitars. You know, so let me do this. Let me play one more full-blown song for you guys. Let me get this one over with. This is kind of a tough one for me, so let me get this one done, and then I'll go ahead and play. After that, I'll play the informational video, which is very short, but it gives you specs, and then you can hear it in a full mix, and then we'll come back and talk some more. And again, tell me what you want me to do with this thing, and I'll do it. So here we go. Okay. As you probably noticed, the mix on that backing track, I picked the wrong one. It had the too high of the backing track guitar in it. I apologize. As soon as it came on, I was like, oh crap, do I stop or do I just keep going? I have to take that out of my list here because I picked it. I picked poorly. Sorry about that. Oh well. Weird, I used, what did I use last night? I'll have to find it. Maybe I'll play it again later. It's in there. It's in the right... There it is. I picked the wrong. Damn it. All right. Well, sorry about that. I'll play it again for you guys in a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Mail it to me. You know, Aaron says... return to code. It's a tweaked Archon. You know, I think you're right. I think it is a tweaked Archon. I did play an Archon once a while back, and it was really cool. It was a great amp. Yeah, they're awesome. Let's see here. Reed Aldridge, they are both killer amps. He's talking about the EL34 EVH and the MT15. It's a matter of preference and tone. Gotcha. He says, in my opinion, the EVH has a tighter low-end growl, snarl that I drool over. I also love the clean channel. It's super warm and clear. No, you're right, dude. Reed, you're absolutely right. The clean channel on the EVH is beautiful. It's lush. It sparkles just enough, and it's got this warmth to it that I haven't heard. The only amp that's come close to that is, well, this one comes kind of close, but the Invective by Peavey comes pretty close to that. That actually sounds really good on the clean channel as well. Paul Smith, hello Jared and everyone. What's going on, man? Can't stay, just wanted to say hi. Have to watch later. Hey, I really appreciate you stopping by, Paul. Thank you so much. Paul's a great guy. He's a local guy. He actually provided us with the CLR, the Atomic CLR, for one of our fight nights. So great supporter of the channel. Great dude. Thank you for stopping by, Paul. Reed said, more volume. The EL34s get hotter than the 6L6s, so naturally it sounds a little more saturated. Yeah, the EL34s are great. It's a great tube. I think they're a little tighter too. It seems like EL34 amps are a little tighter. Let's see here. Dave Rebell, what are the decibels when it's fully cranked? How feel in a small room with your little studio? Great question. Let me do that. Let me pull up my decibel meter. And I will tell you guys. Alright, so let me do that right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set this right here and play it for a second and tell you guys. Hang on. Okay, in the room, I'm at 70 decibels in here with the amp. So, and it feels great. Now, I will tell you guys this too. When you one of the advantages of using like the Line 6 Helix as a effects/switching unit is that when you pair this amp or any amp with it, I can use the volume, the master volume on the Helix as a master volume for the amp. You know, and what's nice about that is you can crank the amp and get all of that heat out of the tubes and all of that aggression and attenuate it with the Helix. So like right now, the master volume's at, this right here is probably about 10 o'clock. Now, if I was going right from this to the cab at that volume, it would be super loud in here. It would be crazy loud. So what I did is I attenuated it with this, and I can attenuate it even more. I could turn this thing up to noon and attenuate it down with the Helix and be done. And I get all that good tubey heat and all that feel and reactive compression and all that kind of stuff without, and stay at bedroom level, because you can turn it down on the Helix even more and just have bedroom level, but you get the feel that you want. You know, I mean, obviously the cab won't be bouncing around like you want it to, but at least you get the amp feel and you get that great compression and aggression out of the tube. So Excuse me. So that's another thing to consider if you guys are going to pair this with an effects unit. Get something like the Helix that'll help you do that. That's like a little side benefit of using the Helix. The others are just the great switching and effects that you get. I mean, it's super easy to hook up, and it's super easy to dial in. I dialed all this stuff in today, and that wasn't the snafu I had. I had other snafus, but it took me 10 minutes to dial in all the effects. It was nothing, you know. I got all the delay and all the reverb and all the stuff that I want. Here's what it sounds like with a little chorus. Hang on. Yeah, that's the, I got it routed through the Helix. It's my TC Electronic. It's the JP chorus pedal, the Dreamscape. And just enough to give it some, you know, a little bit of depth. And so it takes effects really well. The chorus pedal works really good with it. I have, let me do a flanger too, hang on. That's also the JP Dreamscape set in the flanger mode. So yeah, it's really rich. Let me turn this. Yeah, you guys are right. That noise is pretty loud, but again, it's worth it because of the tone that you get. I mean, I'm kind of getting into these lunchbox units because they're lightweight, they're very affordable, and they're usually packed with enough features to make it worth a while. And the tone and it's weird. Like 15 watts, you'd think, oh, that's going to be bedroom amp, you know. I'm not kidding you. This thing will rip your face off, and it's super loud. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't do band practice with this. Really, there's no reason why you couldn't. You could play this on stage, no problem. Because if you think about it, when you go on stage, front of house mics your amp anyways, or mics your cab anyways. So, but even still, it's good enough for stage volume. And what's nice about having these too is that you can really crank them, you know, and get all that aggression out of them, you know. With a lot of the other amps with too much headroom or a lot of headroom, you can't crank them that loud to get all that because they'll be too loud at that point. This thing has enough headroom to get you through band practice or a show easily, and it recorded very well. I mean, I just brought it down here. I played it a couple times on the song, and I did a couple takes with it. Listened back on the speakers. I'm like, this sounds perfect. I got no complaints, and it just recorded like a champ. And what you're going to hear in this video I'm going to play for you in a minute here is the raw tracks. I didn't do any compression. I just double tracked it and panned the tracks left and right. I did no compression. I did no EQ, nothing. It's just raw, unprocessed tracks. Let's take a listen to that real quick, and then we'll come back and talk some more. Okay, so I read some comments while the video was playing. Let me see what we got here. How are the decibels when it's fully cranked? How does it feel in a small room like your little studio? Oh, I did that. That was the 70 decibels is what it's in here. Andrew Stone Rock says, compare it the MT15 to the Archon model in your Helix. Ooh. Wouldn't that be interesting? Let me see if I can make that happen for you. Let me do that. Let me read down here. I never thought of that before, Brett says. Oh, you talking about the attenuation thing? Yeah, dude. That is a pro tip. That is a pro tip there for you. It's a great way to attenuate your amps is by using the Helix. So, because you run the block, the effects loop block for the amp, because you're running it through the effects loop on the Helix. As soon as you do that, you're applying volume through the Helix for it. And now you can crank the dog crap out of this thing and just attenuate it down with the Helix volume, and you got a cranked amp feel, and you can record that way. So this way you can record, and you're still micing the cab. You're still going through the cab. It's all the same. It's just like putting a load box on it, So you can record a really cranked hot amp and get all that goodness out of it by using the Helix in the studio, but you're still getting real amp tone, a mic on a real cab. I mean, nothing changed. So that's a great way to do it. Let's see here. Does the HX Effects have attenuation? I think it might, because you can turn the block in the Helix anyways up and down. There's a volume associated with it. So if that's the case on the Helix, I think it is on the HX Effects too. Check and see if you can turn the volume up and down on those blocks, because if you can, then yes, you can still attenuate that way. It's a good question. Can you dial in, Ben Burnett, can you dial in some 80s rock or classic rock? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Can you set the gain at 3, then 5, then 7, and 10 like you did the other night? Yeah, I did change the gain settings a little bit for you guys, but I'll do it again for you. I got no problem with that. So I'll do 3. So basically I'll do 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and all the way up. So 1 second. Yeah, so that's what that was. Thanks for asking me to do that again, Ben. Again, that's what these reviews are all about. I love interacting with you guys, and I wanted to keep this fun. So get your questions in and ask me to do things, and that's what I'm here for. And I'll tell you my honest opinion about things. I will. I'll tell you whether or not I like stuff, and because I know people watch YouTube channels so that they can gather information to make educated choices on gear. And these things aren't cheap. This is $6 something at Motor City, which is the cheapest price I found. And I apologize for not knowing the exact price. The tag's upstairs. I forgot it was between $650 and $680, I think, right around there, which is again the cheapest price I've seen, even online. So it's a great deal, and they do ship nationwide. So let's see here. Reed Aldridge says, not many people know Mark Tremonti. Actually tracked the last 2 and the newest Alter Bridge records with this amp, as well as his solo project Tremonti, if you want to hear what it's capable of. Oh, that's That's good information. Thank you. You know what's funny is I was never a Creed fan. I could not stand Creed, and I was like, man, the guitar player in Creed is so boring. You know, he doesn't do much. It's just rhythms and blah blah blah, and and years later somebody said, yeah, you got to hear Mark Tremonti's band, Tremonti, and he's done Alter Bridge and this and that. And I'm like, I don't want to listen to that. I mean, that guy's that's I you know because I based it on what I heard with Creed, and I was like, I don't think he's that good of a guitar player. And then he's like, you need to listen to that stuff. And boy, was I eating my words. Holy crap. That guy, it was so underutilized in Creed. So underutilized. It wasn't him that stunk. It was just, he was just playing a part. So, in all due respect to him, he was doing his job. He was playing what fit for that type of music in that band. And that really says a lot about what an excellent musician he is. But I just didn't like, because I'm a shredder. I like listening to shred guitar players and like stealing riffs from them and stuff. And I didn't get that there. But on Alter Bridge and especially Tremonti, like his solo stuff, holy crap. That guy could play me under the table 8 days a week. I mean, easily. I mean, that guy just slaughters me. So I had to eat a lot of crow, after listening to that stuff. I was humbled and embarrassed. That guy's an amazing guitar player. I think he's one of the most underrated guitar players out there. I really do. Like in the 80s, it was Neil Schon from Journey that was the underrated guitar player. Now it's Mark Tremonti. I mean, and this amp is, man, it really is good. So if you guys are wondering, like, should you get this amp or not, based on how it sounds and feels and everything, slam it with an overdrive, because you're going to do that with any amp anyways. I use the precision drive. That's just what I prefer. I think it's pretty transparent, and it just adds that aggression that I like and that feel that I like. And I honestly think that you would love it. And another testament to this amp too is I had my tour ready tone in less than 5 minutes. I mean, I popped it open, turned it on, set everything at noon, slammed it with the pedal, with the overdrive pedal, chugged it on it a little bit, adjusted the treble and the bass, and I was like, and the gain, I turned the gain up a little bit, I was done. I'm like, there you go. That's one of the biggest things that I love about using real tube amps as opposed to digital gear, is that you're not down any rabbit holes. You turn it on, you turn a few knobs, and you're done. And I've spent so much time with digital gear these last few years, especially on my channel, it almost feels like I didn't do enough when I use an amp. I'm like, I can't be done already. I got to do more, but there's no more to do. You turn a few knobs and you go. And I'm really starting to appreciate amps again more than I used to. The simplicity and the tone and the feel and the aggression and the realness, it's all there, and it inspires you to record things and write things and play things, and there's a great interaction between you and the tubes. You can feel the volley between you and the tubes. You can feel them giving you stuff and the compression and all that stuff, and it's a great thing. I'm a big feel guy when it comes to amps, because I could probably make most amps just like you. We could probably make most of the amps that we like sound good, but it's hard to make them feel the way we want them to, and that's where the magic comes in. So if you can have that kind of great feel between you and an amplifier as well as awesome tone, that's really how you pick it, that's when when you're having that volley and you get that smile on your face, or the stink face when you're playing riffs and stuff and you grit your teeth and you're like, oh my god, this is great. That's when the test is over. This is the amp for me. If an amp makes you feel that way and makes you respond that way, that's how you know it's the right one. It really is. And this does that. It really does. It does it in spades. Let's see. Berserkerland Studios, hello, I'm late to the party. What's going on, man? Better late than never, right? Appreciate you being here. Whole lot of Bulldog. What's going on, man? I've heard this is quite a polarizing amp, love or hate type thing. Yeah, I heard that too. I posted it on my Facebook page yesterday, I think, and some people had issues with it, and some people said it was awesome. I think more people liked it than not. But even the people that had issues with it were kind of like, I liked how it sounded, but they had like I think they had quality issues, like things weren't working properly on it here and there. But more people than that, more people liked it than didn't. That's for sure. It was a big ratio, and so far I'm very pleased with it. Very impressed. Berserkerland Studios, yes, he made millions off of Creed. He did, and you know what? I would play that basic stuff too if I got paid like that. I would totally do that, and then afterwards go, now I'm going to do my own thing and shred my butt off for the rest of my life. He's laughing all the way to the bank, and I don't blame him. Trey Mendoza, what's going on, man? How you doing? He says, just got the MT15 amp head today, playing it on my brother's Mesa Boogie 4x12 cab. How do you like it, man? Did you slam it with an overdrive? And if so, which one? Because I love how this sounds and feels with my overdrive pedal. It's great. I think this amp is on par with my EVH amp. It's crazy good, Trey says. No, I do. I like it too. Like the EVH amps out there are awesome, but this is definitely, as far as the dirty and the clean channel, very on par with it. I think that it's just a matter of taste and maybe pocketbook kind of situation between the two. But I mean, for a lunchbox head, I mean, a lot of people, I used to underestimate them. I'd look at those and go, oh, they probably sound thin and crappy. They don't. These things sound very good, and they feel great too. So don't be afraid to buy a lunchbox amp. Let's see here. Reed says, let's see, he just won Guitar Player of the Decade this year. No, he did, and that's right. And God bless him. He deserves it. He really does. Let's see here. Brett says, gotta get. Great video. Keep doing the good stuff. I will. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I'm going to play all three of these songs again. Overdrive pedal not needed at all. Well, it depends on the kind of music you play, For me, it just sounds, it's not as tight as I need it. But again, it depends on the kind of music you play. So if you play like metal and you do a lot of chunky like single note runs and stuff like that, in my humble opinion, at least for me, I need an overdrive pedal. And a lot of people get, there's like a, some people think, they want to have that, they think that overdrive pedals aren't necessary for amps, or they change the tone of it, or they don't recognize the amp anymore with it. If you get a good overdrive pedal that keeps the integrity of the tone in the amp, you're not going to have any of those issues. I mean, with the precision drive, I find that the integrity is all still there. It just makes it a little angrier. It makes it respond the way I like it anyways. My phone just died, so I think something happened here. Oh no. Okay. There it is. So let me run through all three of these again for you guys, and this time I'll pick the right one. Let's start with that one too. And let's have some fun. Let's listen to this in a mix. Oh boy, that was fun. Yeah, you know what I like too, I noticed this time more than the other two times I was playing because I was a little more relaxed, was this amp has so much texture that I could hear it in the mix. Like when I'm doing the chugs and the little quick stops and tight riffs, I could hear the texture in the mix, which was really nice. Even in my earbuds, like you know, in the room you can hear it a little easier typically, but even in these, everything, it sounded big. It's got that nice chunky texture to it. So yeah, I mean, this amp definitely has, and I say this with all humility, not that I'm the end-all be-all, but it does have my stamp of approval on it regarding tone and feel and everything like that. I mean, it's lightweight. I think it's like 18 pounds, just under 18 pounds. Easy to carry around, doesn't take up a lot of space. Very easy to set up. It's not finicky. Like, I dialed it in very quickly, got the tone that I wanted very quickly. You know, it's just, why wouldn't you buy this? You know, like, very, very good. You know, and if you're in America, or in the States, Motor City Guitar ships all over the country, and if you're near Motor City Guitar, if you're in Michigan or in the estate near us, I mean, they're worth the trip. They really are. The great staff, all the people that work there are awesome. They have tons and tons. Every time people come in there for the first time with me, they're like, "Oh my God, it's like a mall for musicians." It really is, you know. And you know, the UK has Andertons. We have Motor City Guitar. You know, I'll take Motor City Guitar. No offense to Andertons. Great store, great channel, but I love Motor City Guitar too. You know, so let me catch up with some comments here. I'm surprised how much low end is in this amp. Traces. Yeah, you're right. The low end is for real on this. They're not playing around with it, are they? It's great. David Schneider says, thanks for the great gear reviews. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks so much for stopping by. I enjoy doing this. I really do. Like I said before, you know, I can do a fully edited gear review and do my talking points and do the tracks and the clips and, you know, how does it sound like this? How does it sound like that? And spend hours editing it, because like every episode that I do is a minimum 14 hours of my time. I could do that, but I'd rather do these because we can talk. You can ask me to do things. I will do them. I'll turn the knobs. I'll play certain things for you guys. I'll play it in a mix. I'm working on getting more backing tracks so you guys don't get sick of these, but these are good backing tracks to test things out. I wrote them specifically for that because there's just things that I have to put the amp through to see what it'll do in these tracks, and it's like it's just it really brings out the good in the amp, or it brings out where it's, you know, it's failing at too. So there's a reason why I wrote them the way I did. So they're just good tire kicking riffs, and it's in a full mix. So so yeah, I like doing that because we can have the interaction. So I decided to not do as many fully produced, edited, uploaded reviews. I'd rather do them like this so we can hang out. And you get your questions asked in real time. And once again, if you want me to try things and turn knobs, I will, because that's what this is for. And I love hanging out with you guys. I actually have more fun doing this than I do editing videos and shooting all this stuff, staring at a camera by myself, not knowing there's an audience there. This is 10 times more fun for me. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Berserker Land Studios, killer playing. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I you know, it's on a selfish note, like, one of the other reasons why I like this too is it's helping me get over my fear of playing on my channel live, you know, because it's pretty vulnerable. Like, if you flub notes and you make mistakes, it's like, oh God, you know, and I don't want to make the product look bad by performing poorly with it. So it's like it's a lot of weight, I feel, and it makes me nervous. So, but I'm getting better at feeling more relaxed. So maybe a couple months from now, I'll be a lot more relaxed, and I won't second guess everything that I'm doing and make mistakes because of that, because that's what happens to me. It's like this, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy when I get nervous, because I start thinking about don't screw up, and you know, I start overthinking, and next thing you know, I'm playing wrong notes. And yeah, so I'm getting better at it though. David Salvador, seriously, that was amazing playing. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that very much. I'll do a solo thingy for you guys without a backing track so you can hear this thing sing by itself in a minute, too. Love that riff, dude, Reed says. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love that second song, all that with the harmonics and stuff. It's so disjointed. We called it Disjointed. That's the name of it. It's so all over the place, and it's fun to play. It's very challenging to stay in time with. So that one I'm always nervous about too, because one wrong move and the whole train goes off the tracks, and it's hard to find your way back in. So Brett Murphy says, "Oh, what's up, Brett? Yes, Motor City is a killer store. It really is. Guitar Player's Playground. It really is." Berserkerland says, "Mistakes create great riffs over time." You know what? You're right. I mean, half of the songs I've written are happy accidents, and I'm sure you guys can attest to that, you know. Man, I'm almost out of whiskey here. Let me do a couple more things before we go. Let me do some singing notes for you. I'll do that solo. Boy, this is really putting myself out there. Let me do that solo all by itself so you guys can hear it and hear the amp just sing all on its own. There's just some delay on it and an overdrive pedal. That's all there is. So let's do that, and then I'll do some more cleans for you. Hang on. So that's it by itself. Couple little flubby doos there, but whatever, you know. So that string skipping riff at the end is always kind of a challenge. But yeah, this thing sings really good. Sings like a champ. It's got it's got a lot of sustain. Even in these here, and these are flat, so I don't have an EQ on my in-ears. They're 5-driver in-ears, KZ AS10s. And I'm not hearing anything that's pinching my ears. You know, there's no ice pick, you know, kind of things going on in my eardrums. it's smooth, it's glassy, it sounds good. I love the sustain, the tone is great. And again, like I said earlier, I found a sweet spot at 1 o'clock with the gain for the solos, you know, and the rhythms. Now, if I had 2 channels on this amp, 2 high gain channels, I would probably set the gain a little higher for the leads. I'd probably have it at 2 o'clock just to get that little more saturation and sustain. But this, obviously it works well just like this. So you could easily get by with this amp without having the extra channel. So that's what I always do when I have a 1 gain channel type amp. I find a sweet spot that works for both. But in the studio, I'd probably back the tone down, or the gain down a little bit for my rhythms to make them a little chunkier, especially because you're double tracking. So when you're double tracking, that beef will be added with the second track, and then you want that clarity so that it sounds even tighter and chunkier. But if you have too much saturation and gain in the studio, you can run into issues where it starts sounding sloppy. So that's why, you know, I'd have it, you know, set different in the studio for rhythms and leads. But for live, it's perfect setting. Let's see here. see. I'm Carrie. Yo, I'm driving right now. I miss everyone. What's up, Carrie? She is my co-host. She's usually here. She's always here on Sunday nights with me. But when I go live during the weeks, it's going to be hit and miss with her. But I do miss having her here because she helps. Well, I love being with her. She's fun to hang out with, so that's always great. But she fields questions and picks on me and stuff. It makes it a little more interesting. So yeah, so hopefully she'll be back on Sunday though, most likely. So all right, so particularly the one in the third track, Massive. That riff, that's a slammer. Actually, I called it Majestic Slammer because it has that majestic solo, but in the beginning it just slams. Those are just my dumb names for songs, so I can keep track of what's what here. Berserker says, Carrie, grab Jared more whiskey on the way. That would be good, because I'm out, man. Now I'm drinking this freaking pop. So, yeah, so let me do some cleans. Let's go back to the clean channel and let you guys hear that again. 1 second. Okay, so here's the clean channel with no effects on it. Just plain old clean channel. That's just great. It's chimey, it's round. Now, just so you know, too, I'm on the coil tap on this guitar, so let me turn that off, and I'll go through the 3 different pickup selecting. So I'm going to go bridge, neck, and then coil tap, so you guys can hear those. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I'll do one more with effects. Let me turn them all back on. So what I'm turning on is a little bit of delay, reverb, and chorus. Here we go. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. This thing takes effects really well, and it colors it really nicely. So, You can pretty much get anything you want out of this. If you just want a good straight up rock tone, just turn the gain down to maybe 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock and just get a nice stiff rock tone, and you can do, you know, 80s riffs, AC/DC, you know, stuff like that. Might be a little more aggressive than that, but hey, when it's live, you kind of want that anyway. But this is surprisingly very big, very aggressive amplifier. I would highly recommend it. I really would. Yeah, definitely get it from Motor City. I know I keep saying that, but they sponsored the show, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing this. They let me take this home, you know, and I really appreciate that very much, so that I could do a live stream. And I told them, I said, well, if you guys do this, I'll make sure I give you guys as much props as I can. And it's genuine too, so it's not like I'm trying to be all shilly and stuff for that store. It's actually a great store, and anybody that lives near here that's been there will agree with me. It's an awesome store, and the staff is amazing. So definitely, if you have time, go there. Dave Rebell's from Canada, and whenever he comes up here, adjusting my volume here on my earpiece, yeah, whenever he comes up here, we make it a point to go to Motor City and hang out for a couple hours and check stuff out. So it is a fantastic store. So Helix Banana, the Helix sounds great. So what's going on, Helix Banana? What's happening? Let's see here. John Smith, 15 watts, keep up with a loud drummer. My Hughes and Kettner needs to be at 40, any less doesn't cut it. I mean, it's a great question. I haven't played with a super loud drummer in a long time, but I'm guessing that you're going to be fine. I mean, this thing does get very loud. I was surprised at how loud I could get it. So I've heard some drummers play so loud that it was insane. As soon as they start hitting the cymbals and the ride, it's just like it's game over for anybody. But I would say a typical guitar player in a typical band with a typical drummer that plays at a typical volume, you're not going to have any issues. A super loud drummer, I would suggest testing it first. But man, if you got to play that loud, oh my God, that would be awful. It really would. I don't think I could handle that. But anyways, let me read a couple more, and then I'm going to get out here. Let's see. Reed says, John has full-size 6L6s. It's a little louder than most 15-watt heads. It's very loud. I have to agree with Reed. You know, it's loud as hell. I couldn't believe how loud it was. So I would say definitely give it a shot. Definitely try it out and give it a shot, and I really think you're going to be pleased with it. You know? Well, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I hope that you got something out of this. Again, I will be doing live interactive reviews every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'll have a new piece of gear each time where we can, check it out together, have a conversation. Most of the time I will start out with all of the tracks before I even start talking, so that you get all of that stuff in the beginning. And then I'll have an informational video for you as well that I'll play a few times throughout the video, and still getting all that stuff organized for you guys. And then we'll have a nice conversation. I'll do whatever you want. I'll turn knobs, whatever, push buttons, so that we can test it out together, tell you what I think, you can tell me what you think. And I just think that doing interactive reviews is way better than doing produced ones, because we can again have questions and answers and conversations in real time about the product that we're talking about here. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. We have a lot of great stuff coming up, and I can't wait to share it all with you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Without you guys, I don't really, it's not any fun at all. So I really appreciate all the questions and the comments very much. So thanks, and I will see you guys on Sunday night with Carrie. We're going to hang out with you guys. I'll probably have some more stuff to demo on that night and some more announcements. So we'll see you soon. Again, thank you all. God bless, and we'll see you soon.